Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Tuesday, January the 10th, 2023. Tuesday, January the 10th. Well, they are speeding up the storyline, as you could tell. I mean, speeding it all up to come to a head, which was interesting that they decided to finally accelerate. Yeah. What they've done is we have Drew spending all this time. He's over at Carly's. He's telling Carly that he's kissed her, but then now he's got to ask her some hard questions. And the hard questions are he feels she's been working against him. He put it all together. She's been against him finding Willow's mother, and he wanted to know why, her parents. And so she's going back to, because Willow didn't want to know. And he goes, but Carly, Willow, and you know this, Willow has since changed her mind. And you're still working against me. Why? Because I mean, I just still felt it was best. And he goes, it's not your call. That's not your life. It's Willow's life. And you know, Willow has had a change of heart, Carly. And I let you in, and I feel like you've been working against me. And I don't understand why. So she goes, well, I have been working against you. Oh, she came clean, which is so unCarly. How she interfered with the paramedic chick and paid her off, and how she found the guy's photo and took it. And Drew was like, so you just pretty much have been lying. She goes, so you know what? So I deceived you, because no, you lied to me, Carly. You lied. And you've been actively sabotaging me. And he goes, if you knew the whole truth. And she goes, what whole truth? And he just, Willow has leukemia. And Carly's like, oh my God. That's why she's been looking pale. That's why she's so frail and so sick. Why didn't I see it? So Drew said, how would you have come to that conclusion? Willow has actively kept it a secret. And she goes, well, how did you find out? He goes, I found out because she asked me to look for her parents. First, it was for a medical history. Then it became apparent it was something else. And she confided in me. And so he said, so Carly, in other words, like, you have been hindering me getting, she goes, Willow needs a bone marrow transplant. And so Carly's looking and she goes, and the best transplant would come from a family member. She goes, you don't have to look any further. Nina's Willow's mother. And I thought, whoa, huh? That didn't take another week to come out? Wow. It's almost like, did they can a bunch of episodes because the cast changing, and we got to this point real quick now? Because we have Sonny. Of course, he read Willow's lab results, and he showed them to Nina. And they both put their heads together, coming to why she would keep it a secret and blah, blah, blah. Willow looked up stuff on the internet. And Willow's like, see, I bet Michael is behind delaying her, getting her medical treatment. And I'm thinking, how on earth could you even deduct something like that? See, Sonny needs to look at Nina and really look at this chick, right? And Sonny goes, Nina, right now, bottom line, this whole family, this whole feuding, no, that's got to stop, because we have to pull together for Willow. And she's just looking at him like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, right? So, of course, Jocelyn goes by to see Dex with, her survivor's remorse and blah, blah, blah. We should have this, but no, you didn't make me leave. You this, that, and a needless visit. And soon as she walked through the door, I said, girl, you only coming because you want to sleep with them again. That's it. And guess what happens? On the couch, couch is their regular place now, right? Right. That's what she came for. That's what they did. And then Sonny's texting her to meet him in his office. And she goes, how dare he summon me? Of course it's Sonny. And he goes, well, what are you going to do? I'm going to go tell him. He can't tell me who I can and cannot see. Just like Nina, I was thinking, How do you know what Sunny wants to tell you, Jocelyn? Because quite frankly, everybody, if Sunny wanted to talk about her seeing Dex and her and Dex seeing each other, I'm sorry, he'd be talking to Dex, telling them you're fired. Okay? But oh no, Jocelyn, this big old bad Jocelyn, and she comes walking into Sunny's office. First of all, you summon me here. You know, I'm telling you right now, you don't tell me wait, how I live my life. You don't. And he's just looking at her like, what on earth are you talking about? And she's standing all, all like I'm the man here. I'm thinking, I can't stand the way they make her personality. It's so annoying. It's ridiculous. So they left that scene there. Now, earlier, we have, Willow trying to spend an evening, with Michael and Wiley, and she's really getting weak. She's really just, things are, she's just not feeling well. Things are getting ready to escalate fast because remember, Terry told her lab results were not good at all. So, Michael ends up putting Wiley to bed, reading him a bedtime story, and Willow's just crying. And now I made the worst mistake. I cut you out. Why don't you hate? Why? And it's like, chick, you know what? Live with it. You made your choice. Now live with it. Because see, Michael has been there for you the whole time. And Michael would have been there for you the entire time, but you chose not to let him. She chose that. Just like Michael is not telling her what to do now, he wouldn't have told her what to do then. And you know what? Whatever, Willow. That was my co-host is chiming in right now. That was your choice, okay? So he's, consoling, comforting her. And then he takes her up and he puts Willow in the bed. And what was so interesting to me is she really didn't look right to me, everybody. Now, mind you, she's not coming off of a chemo that's drained her. She really looked like she's getting ready to be in some kind of medical crisis tonight, right? And so she goes, please don't let me oversleep. I want to see Wiley get off to school. And he goes, okay. And I'm thinking, something's wrong. Something's getting ready to happen, right? So Michael's sitting there with her and he hears the knock on the door. So he goes down and guess who it is, everybody? First, I thought it was going to be Carly because Drew had just told Carly that Willow had leukemia. But no, who comes peeking her head through the little glass pane door windows? Nina. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Okay? That's Sunny's son. Sunny, even though he's not welcome, would have been more welcome than Nina. Right? So Michael opens the door. Why don't these people understand? Don't even open the door to Nina. Look, you see it's Nina, you walk up to the door, you close the blinds, the little curtains on the door thing, and you walk away. Don't even open the door to Nina. So he opens the door, he goes, this is not a good time. I'll be brief. And don't worry, I'll be brief. And she just walks in the man's house. I'm here to talk about my grandson, Wiley. Whoa. See, Sunny's not going to be too happy with this. Nina's going to end up yelling, causing an argument with Michael. And watch, Willow's going to stumble down and pass out, collapse right in front of them both. There is absolutely no reason Nina is there, nor does she have any business to be there whatsoever. So I'm sorry, Nina fans. She's 100% wrong. 100%. Just completely out of lines, out of bounds. On top of the fact it's nighttime. You just go show up at people's house and I looked at that. I said, oh my God, I want to go and snatch her out of that house myself and kick her behind back to her car. Oh my goodness. Wow. Right? So we shall see what happens with that. But see, I think this is going to be the whole culmination of the escalation of Willow's crisis is going to all happen tonight, right? Because I did see what on the next General Hospital or something scenes where Carly's coming into the chapel teary-eyed, and Sonny and Nina are sitting there. So obviously Willow has to get rushed to the hospital, and I'm telling you, it's because of Nina. Well, no, she's sick. She's gonna have to go to the hospital anyway. But Nina had no business being at their house. None. No business whatsoever. So now we have Spencer trying to get in the room to see Esme, which Elizabeth lets him go in, which, goodness, I didn't know Elizabeth was a doctor, but okay. So Spencer's talking to her, and she's still playing the good amnesia, and he tells her, oh, no, you were my girlfriend. I brought you here, this, that, and the other. And so she's like, oh, so could this baby be? And he goes, possibly. He knows it's no. It's not possibly. Spencer, it's been a long time since he slept with her. There had been, I mean, months in between him and Nicholas sleeping with her, which is one of the things that she was crying to Nicholas about, is Spencer won't even touch me. And that's one thing she was begging Spencer. It's been a long time, Spence. Come on, let's just do, get back that spark. And Spence, and he never would. Right? So anyway, he's just telling her that he's trying to see, is she really there or not? He's actually getting convinced that she has amnesia, which I honestly, at this point, I think she does. Okay. So the PCPD show up at Windermere to search it. And of course, Nicholas wasn't going to let him. But before they got there, Victor's like, hey, okay, now, nephew, you getting ready to come clean with this. And he holds the ornament, and he told her, he goes, why does it look like somebody's been held captive up there in that North Tower room? And there was a Christmas tree up there, toiletries in the bathroom, clothes in the closet. Yeah, loose fitting, sweat stuff. But for a pregnant woman, what you been doing? You kept her up here under my nose, nephew. Right? And that's when the Jordan and Dante are at the front door with some cops. And so Nicholas is like, no, if you don't have a warrant, you ain't getting in my house. And Victor's like, nonsense, come on in. And Nicholas is looking like, what you doing, old man? And so they're talking, and Victor tells Nicholas, why don't you accompany the police officers so they don't get lost here in Windermere? And he's looking at his uncle. So him and Dante are looking at the house. And I thought, okay, by Victor saying yes, they could search the premises, I'm like, that room is already cleared out, period. So Dante, they get up to the room in North Tower, and he goes, what's in this room? He goes, just a spare room. He goes, okay, well, let me look at it. He goes, well, staff could be in there. He goes, what do you mean staff could be in there? I would think the staff would stay on the main grounds. And he goes, depending on what's going on, it could be late or, so sometimes the staff can use this room. What do you care? Right? So Dante's like, I'm going to have to see in this room. And Nicholas is like, well, it's probably locked. I'm going to have to go find the key, and that could take a while. So Dante turns the knob. He goes, it's unlocked. And they push the door open, and Nicholas is like, and Dante is like, and Nicholas is like, what? So they come downstairs. Now, mind you, Victor's talking to Jordan, giving her the canned answer about cancers. I barely knew answers. I barely knew Esme, blah, 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 Spencer's girlfriend, but then I haven't seen her in months. Whatever. So Dante comes back down, and Jordan said, did you find anything? I said, no. Nothing. There's no sign of her here. And she goes, well, the officers are still searching the grounds, and, they'll let me know if they turn up anything. And Nicholas says, yeah. And she goes, we may have to come back. And Nicholas says, yeah, make sure you have a warrant when you come back. And she just looks at him, and they leave. And Dante and Jordan are talking outside. And he goes, what'd you find up there? Did you find anything? He goes, no. He goes, but I tell you, there's a room in that North Tower, freshly painted and completely scrubbed clean. He says, scrub so clean, you still smell the cleaning solutions and the fresh paint. It's been painted within hours or within an hour. It's been freshly painted. And so she's like, you mean like, okay, somebody could have been in there. And they're like, okay, that gives us something to go on, right? Which actually, believe it or not, would further exonerate Esme if she was there. See, Nicholas could have got ahead of this thing. Instead of her being held captive, no, she's my baby mama. That's where I was keeping her. And look, she's pregnant. She's not the hook because she's been here, but I didn't know. So I'm making sure she stayed here. I wouldn't say I locked her in, but I, kept her here in the lap of luxury, whatever, right? So anyway, Nicholas looks at Victor and said, what did you do with that room up there? He goes, oh, I had Dimitri take care of all that, get all her stuff out of there and make sure that room was cleaned and there's no evidence. And so Nicholas looked at him and he goes, oh, but I had all Esme's stuff moved to storage. And he goes, storage, why? He goes, and then he took the little ornament out of his pocket and he goes, just in case I need her stuff as leverage over you. And I'm thinking, Victor's always talking about putting his family together, keeping his family together, but he's forever blackmailing his family. How is that supposed to work, y'all? So Nicholas just looks at him like, oh, goodness gracious, oh, Victor, Uncle Victor, right? So that pretty much was it for today. I think tomorrow, although Wednesdays sometimes tend to be boring, but the way they're rushing this whole Willow thing and rushing this whole storyline, we may actually have some good action this week on General Hospital. Wowzers. Whoa, Carly has never come clean so fast in her life, ever. And she sure did. 100% clean. Wow. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow, everybody, for another daily recap of General Hospital. You know what? I forgot comment corner. There's a whole lot of comments. I'm going to speed through. And I'm going to say this. There are some comments that I can't understand what on earth the comments are about. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to even try to read them. I'm just going to say the name. I don't understand your comment and keep going because I'm like, what on earth are they talking about? And hey, we kind of all know the daily recap lady is just, I'm just going to say it, right? So some of your comments, look, can't figure them out. And if I can't figure them out, I'm not going to read them live because bottom line, just like I can't figure them out, everybody else that reads the comments, all you other daily recap folks, you're reading those comments and you're saying, wait, what? Okay, same for me. What? So anyway, here we go. And as always, and we haven't had this problem in quite a while, but got to keep the comments clean, no profanity and nothing that's inappropriate. Let's remember that, folks, because I will delete the comments so fast your head will spin. Okay, so now, hello there says, I don't care for how they're making Michael so revengeful. I think his feelings towards his father are warranted, but he needs a better approach. What's the old saying? The best revenge is living well. And rather than being so mean, why not just go to Sonny and say, I want to love you as my father, but it's hard for me to love you the way you are, love you the way you are. Personally, I think that would be a better storyline than causing trouble, which is going to backfire on him anyway, 100% backfire. I also don't have a problem with Willow keeping her illness to herself. A lot of people do that in real life. And having been on that side of things myself, I can certainly understand because people can be so judgmental that It's almost works against you rather against you than to be out in the open about things. Yeah, you know what? Circumstances can dictate that. As a parent, I certainly understand her concerns for Wiley and being worried as well. And then Jody says, I like Nina, sorry, not Sunny. Wait, I like Nina, sorry, not sorry. Oh, you don't have to be, look, you can like Nina. We all have our different favorites. That is fine. But I can't stand Nina. The way even just the way she showed up at Michael's house today. And then she'll tell Sonny, I know, but I went over to talk about me. I just found out that his pretty much wife has leukemia, and I had to go talk about me. About me. And then this chemo beauty said PCPD has already asked Elizabeth if Esme were pregnant when she saw her on the docks, and Liz said no. So I wonder if they will ask Nick, how does he know he is the father of the baby if he claims that that's the first time he's laid eyes on her in the hospital? I know he could maybe say, she told me she was pregnant. I don't know how Nicholas can say that's my baby. Really? I honestly don't know that. And Cindy says, I think Victor may want Windermere as much as Ava does. He'll use the Christmas ornament. She'll use the video confession. But that stupid video confession means nothing, Ava. Esme's not dead. So that confession is garbage. They might fight each other or they might join forces. Nicholas could end up in the Hooskow, a divorced man. And Lucy says, I can see Ava and Uncle Victor teaming up, but not romantically. Richard says, another great review daily recap lady. I'm with you. No baby switches. Please, no baby switches. Kimberly says, okay, everyone, we keep forgetting that Ryan can walk. That's true. And it could be 2 hook killers. And then Ruth says, Wiley is way too young to go through the trauma probably of the bone marrow transplant. And you are 100% correct. And then Ruth says she preferred that they rename or give the baby the original name, which was Jonah. That was his birth name. And she doesn't like the name Wiley. I never preferred Wiley, but you know what? I guess they decided at this point not to change his name. And then Ruth says what she likes. She agrees that Heather's crazy. Yeah, Heather is crazy. And she misses Epiphany, and she said Britt is gone. And then she has a different theory about the killer. Don't be mad. Ruth, I would never be mad at somebody having a different theory as me, ever. So no, but she still likes my hat. Yep. You probably the hat's biggest fan, Ruth. But yeah, no, you can have your own opinions. And then Lucy says Uncle Victor may have met his match with Uncle Sonny. Oh, Victor has met his match. And then Richard says facts. And Ron says, when it all comes out, a new plot twist, Nicholas will not be the father. I know, isn't that interesting? Because she was gone and then came back pregnant. Anybody could have got her pregnant. Or she could have did that on purpose with anybody. But if Heather has this problem, why haven't the blood illness, the tainted blood in her body? Why haven't the doctors seen if it's a match? And then Kawan still feels somehow Dex is AJ's kid. Oh my God. Okay. But no. And then Michael says, no baby switch. I'm starting to believe Esme really has memory loss. And Lucy says the doctors confirm Esme's amnesia is real. Jane says, I'm waiting on Carly to tell Nina that Willow is hers. Oh, that's coming. I think that's coming this week. And then Kawan, let me tell you something. I don't understand the rest of your comments that you made. So there you go. James says Nicholas is falling apart, but I think it's Spencer's baby. I don't think it's Spencer's baby. If they do, they're totally mixing up the timeline. Seriously. If they make that baby Nicholas's, Esme should be giving birth right now. Richard says, I agreed. I second that. Cindy says, it could be Spencer's because we don't know how much time passed between Spencer and Esme when they worked together. And Esme and Nicholas were together. They'll need to do a DNA test. And Cindy says facts. And then this Chemo Beauty says, I remember back when Esme and Spencer were staying with Laura. Yep. Esme tried to pull the pregnancy test card, and Spencer made her take the pregnancy test. It was negative. And Spencer never slept with her again after that. He absolutely did not sleep with her again after that. Esme kept trying to get him in the bed, but Spencer refused. Spencer is not the father. I'm with you, this Chemo Beauty. And then we have Dacia says Elizabeth needs to come clean, that she has been there. She needs to tell Scott everything so he can help her before she ruins herself. She's got her sons to look out for. And then we have Sandy says, I hope Ava gets Spoon Island from Nicholas. Of course, it's going to be a baby switch, just like another amnesia story. Lazy writing. And Trey Boyce says, after that, Ava chokes to death and gets blown to pieces secretly by Victor so he could snatch everything back that was robbed from the family. LOL. That would be funny. Anna Rihanna says, Sonny is a wild card, can never be sure where he's really coming from. LOL. I agree that Alexis, with Alexis, when she made it clear to Nicholas, he needs to fix things with his son before he tries to raise a new baby. Whenever the producers show Spoon Island, it's actually a photo of an island in Barbados called Skull Island. Not living there, no ma'am, no baby switch, nope. McBain, where are you? PCPD needs help. Yeah, I heard they're having a new cop come in, new detective that's going to be joining the force. You know, my goodness, why did they have to make it so that Chase's review board wasn't until spring? I mean, we just needed to bring Chase back, right? And Anita says Finn was the one with a clue regarding where Esme was hiding out. Monique says Finn should just be a cop for the PCPD. His McBain, are we talking about John McBain? She side is coming out. So that is the comments from Comment Corner. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for your participation. I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap of General Hospital.